Whodunnit. Hotel murder. A murder has been committed in this hotel, a bloody knife, missing pieces, and a web of tangled lies. The truth is far more complicated than it seems. Suspects are blaming each other, but the evidence tells a different story. But detective, this case is in your hands.
Whodunnit Hotel Murder, Episode 1 Death Behind the Door. Intro, countdown backwards, light rain sounds, footsteps echoing through the hotel corridors. Time rewinds. A hand opens the door. Inside, a corpse, a bloody knife on the floor, a note written on the ground. Trust no one.
Victim, Richard Duncan, 45 years old, businessman. Married, but it is revealed that he was meeting his lover at the hotel. A VIP guest at the luxury hotel, always staying in the best suite. His body was found in the luxury suite, stabbed in the chest, last seen, having dinner with 5 people.
Oliver Carter, lover. Detective, can you tell us about that night?
Olivia, I loved Richard. We came to the hotel to have a beautiful night together. I was in the room with him that night. Early in the morning, I went down to the lobby for a while. But when I returned to the room, he was dead. I don't know why the knife was there. I don't know why that note was written. I couldn't have been the one to hurt him.
Detective, your fingerprints were found on the murder weapon, and you were the only one with Richard all night. How do you explain this?
Olivia, it's only natural that my fingerprints are on the knife. I had to use a knife in the room. I had prepared a fruit plate for him.
Detective, all right. The investigation is still ongoing. You may leave for now.
Suspect file, Daniel Wright. General information, age, 43, occupation, investment advisor, relationship, childhood friend, and closest confidant of Richard Duncan. Personality traits, cold-blooded, intelligent, but mysterious. He is said to be a skilled manipulator. Hotel connection. He was at the hotel bar on the night of the murder, but since the security cameras were malfunctioning, there is no solid proof that he was actually there.
Detective, Mr. Wright, you have had a long-standing friendship with Richard Duncan. However, it is said that you were at the hotel on the night of the murder, but did not see him again after dinner.
Daniel Wright, yes, Richard was my childhood friend, but I have nothing to do with his death. I was at the hotel bar that night, having a few drinks as usual. After dinner, Richard went to his room with his lover, and we didn't see each other again.
Detective, what about Olivia Carter? Is it true that you had a secret relationship with her? Some hotel staff claim to have seen you and Olivia entering a room together. Did you plan this murder together?
Daniel Wright, hesitating. This is a personal matter. But yes, Olivia and I have been seeing each other for a while. Richard didn't know, but he had started to suspect something. I never wanted to betray him. Everything happened so fast, and we realized we had feelings for each other. We couldn't stop ourselves, and our relationship continued. We never planned any murder. His voice trembles.
Detective, is there anything else you would like to say, Mr. Wright? Think carefully.
Daniel Wright takes a deep, anxious breath. Look, everything is piling up, but I didn't kill Richard. Yes, I went to Olivia's room, but I wasn't there when Richard was murdered.
All right, that will be all for now. You may leave, Mr. Wright. If you learn or hear anything, please inform us.
Suspect file, Henry Thompson. General information, age 50, occupation, private chauffeur, relationship, Richard Duncan's personal driver for many years. Personality traits, quiet, reserved, and observant. He doesn't talk much, but he knows a lot about the hotel and its guests.
Detective, Mr. Thompson, you were the one who drove Richard Duncan from the airport to the hotel on the day of the murder. Did anything unusual happen during the ride?
Henry Thompson. Yes, sir. Richard seemed very nervous. He kept making phone calls, but I couldn't hear most of the conversations. It sounded like he was arguing with someone. Even when we arrived at the hotel, he was still upset and went inside without even thanking me.
Detective, it was discovered that you also made a phone call on the night of the murder. Who were you calling?
Henry Thompson. Pauses for a moment. I don't want to talk about that, but listen, Richard was trying to tell me something that day. He was scared of something. If I reveal what I know, I might be next.
Detective, Mr. Thompson, we are trying to solve a murder here. If you know something important, you need to tell us.
Henry Thompson sighs deeply. I'm just a driver. I don't know who he was arguing with or why he was so paranoid. But Richard mentioned that someone inside the hotel was following him. Maybe it was just paranoia, or maybe it was real.
Detective, do you remember anything else about that night?
Henry Thompson shakes his head. No, but one thing I know for sure, Richard was truly afraid before he died.
All right, that will be all for now. If you remember anything else, please contact us immediately.
Suspect file, Hotel Manager, Eleanor Hastings. General information, age, 47. Occupation, General Manager of the luxury hotel. Relationship, former business partner, Richard Duncan, and the person in charge of hotel operations. Personality traits, cold-blooded, intelligent, and meticulous in managing the hotel. She appears trustworthy, but there's always something she seems to be hiding.
Detective Miss Hastings, it is known that you met with Richard Duncan shortly before his murder. What happened that night?
Eleanor Hastings. Yes. Richard had concerns about the hotel's business. I don't know exactly who he suspected, but he was convinced something was wrong. We talked, and then we parted ways. I didn't harm him that night.
Detective, what about the hotel's financial records? Did Richard suspect any corruption?
Eleanor Hastings avoids eye contact. This hotel is my responsibility. Richard was no longer part of it. The things he said were baseless.
Detective, the security cameras stopped working at the exact time of the murder. Was that just a coincidence?
Eleanor Hastings, calmly. I believe it was a technical malfunction. I had nothing to do with it.
Detective, all right. That will be all for now. If you have anything else to add, please contact us.
All right, Detective, you've heard all the statements. Now, let me give you a few key clues. Clue number 1. The bloody knife had Olivia Carter's fingerprints, but there were traces of another set of prints underneath. Clue number 3. A mysterious note was found near the body. Trust no one. Was this written by Richard or someone else? All right, Detective, who do you think did it? Was it the jealous lover, envious of his wife? Or the best friend who wanted him out of the way to be with Olivia? Could it be the chauffeur, tired of always cleaning up after him? Or the former business partner, the hotel manager, hiding a deeper secret? A veil of mystery is about to be lifted.
If you're eager to find out who the real culprit is, stay tuned for the next video featuring the confession letter, Detective. In the meantime, share your suspicions with me in the comments and don't forget to subscribe. Good luck on your investigation, Detective. Garrett.